All right, Anthony Hartwig, we're here with another special interview player profile with that Infinity 17s team that we've been following for the last week. We're joined by Lay James. Lay, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today.
Of course, thank you so much for having me.
So, when we've talking about this 17s team out of Infinity that is, having such a good summer, most of them are teams that we cover at the YSN family that we know so well, but you're the only one actually that we don't have the pleasure of covering during the high school season. So, I want to get to know you a little bit first. You're a Maslin Jackson polar bear. What got you into volleyball? Talk about your journey and the start of the sport and kind of how you found yourself falling in love with the sport of volleyball.
Well, I started my freshman year of high school, so this is going to be my fourth year playing. And I don't really know. It was kind of just like my whole family played basketball, and I did for a little bit as well, but I wanted to do something different. My brother went to go play football, so I was like, might as well branch off. And then I went to, when I first moved to Jackson, one of the other players' dads was like, "Oh, you need to get on a volleyball court." And I was like, "Okay." So I went to an open gym, and then I just kept on going. And ever since, I've stuck with it. Then I started playing club in high school season altogether. I started blocking. That was my favorite part of the game. And once I got good at it, it was done.
So you didn't play any volleyball before your freshman season.
No.
What is it like going from that, picking up volleyball your freshman season? Now here you are going into your senior season. You're on one of the best club teams, not just in the state of Ohio, but ranked 34th in the country. I mean, what's that whirlwind like for you?
I think it's crazy. Kind of just like seeing the videos from beforehand or like talking to my teammates and they're like, "Do you remember the first time that you went to go approach for a ball?" And it was ugly. Like I remember my mom used to always call me a baby giraffe because I just was not coordinated. And looking at it now, like I'll watch my film and I'm like, I feel like an athlete and I look like an athlete, which is something that's kind of new. Like my family always used to pick at me because I was not coordinated, couldn't walk in a straight line, couldn't run in a straight line. But like now with what I'm doing, it's just a whole 180.
Look who's laughing now, right? When you think of that transition and being able to get to where you are now, I'm sure that there are people along the way that have helped you a lot get better and tighten your craft. Who are some people that really, really helped you learn the sport of volleyball and grow in the sport of volleyball?
Definitely my head coach, Mary Kay Dagona. She was just patient with me when it came to it, but also like this is what needs to be done. You need to learn this, and just being able to stick with me, I think was really big. My 15th coach at Nova, Sean, he was really big as well. He kind of helped me with the fundamental stages, which is what I really lacked in at first. And once I got that going, like I have to thank him for a lot, and Mary Kate, I have to thank them for so much.
When you think about that time span between freshman year and now, was there a moment, maybe a game or maybe a summer or maybe a practice where you just felt it click and you felt like not only was volleyball a fun sport to play, but you were starting to really fall in love with it and you wanted to work so hard at it?
I think that would definitely be my junior high school season, or no, sorry, sophomore high school season. I was playing with um, kind of other girls that have been playing for a while, and I thought like, oh, I need to get to where they are. And when I think one big game was when we were playing Glen Oak, and I was running different things out of the middle, and it was just the atmosphere was so good, and that was kind of the game where I was like, okay, like I can see myself doing this for at least the next 4 years, if not longer.
When we look at this Infinity roster, like we said before, there's everyone else on the team is a YSN signed school up here in the Youngstown area. How did you kind of get on this team from Maslin? What kind of drew you to this Infinity 17 team?
Well, I was on a team with Reagan Greeneisen, and she was like, "Hey, like I'm going here. We have this girl from Pitt. She's going to be on our team. Like the people are so nice. The coaching staff is so great." And so I went out there for an open gym, and I was talking to the coaches and the director, and it just seemed like such a great and like fun atmosphere. But as well as like the girls know how to play. The girls are like not, they want to be here, they want to get better, and I think that's a really big thing. And I was just like, this seems like the right fit for me.
Yeah, you're the third player we've talked to from this club team, and each one we've talked to about just the atmosphere of club volleyball, where everyone is there for the same reason. You're all there for a specific goal to get better at volleyball. Some are already committed to colleges, some still want to get themselves recruited. What's it like being a part of a room of a community of a team that everyone is same minded and everyone has the same goal and they're all there for the same thing?
I think it's so great. Like all of the girls, we all push each other. All of the middles, like when it comes to your position, we all play different positions as well. But like when I go against Reagan, she blocks me, and it's like so excited. Like I'm happy for her, and I'm happy for my other teammates. Like when they dig me, or when I get a block on them, it's like, oh my gosh, I did it. But we really all push each other to be better without the kind of like the feeling bad about it. But like we all are competitive with each other in a good nature, and I think that really pushes us to be better, which is what's really great about this team.
Now, I mentioned it before. This team is ranked second in OVR and 34th nationally. You're going on to play in Las Vegas next weekend in the Nationals down there. But a lot of things go into that. Like it's not just hey, we're just gonna go to Nationals. Like you had to work really hard this club season to get there. What has this season been like? This club season? What kind of things are you proud of that you've been able to do?
I think this season has been so great. I think I've come so far as an athlete. One thing that we talk about is when I first started, I could not hit a slide for the life of me. And now going in tournaments and playing games and we run it and it's like and it's good. And I think that's just like one of the aspects that really shows how much I've grown personally. I know we've played the number one team in OVR, AVC Red. We've played them 3 times so far in our season and we beat them our last time and it was just like you could see the growth and how far that we've come as we've finally been able to not only compete with them but be able to take them down. And I think as a team, that was just one of the biggest wins for us.
You're going to be going into your senior season at Massillon Jackson. That's a big year for everyone. You're going to be asked to have a lot of responsibilities as a leader for that team. How much do you think you're going to be leaning on this experience in this club team when you go into your senior season next year?
Can you repeat the question? Sorry, I didn't really understand.
So you're going into your senior season at Massillon Jackson this upcoming season.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a season where a lot gets asked of you. You're going to have a lot of responsibilities put on your shoulders as a leader. How much are you going to lean on this club season that you've been going through this summer to take into your senior year at Massillon Jackson?
I think this team has really helped me with accountability, and I love to bring that to this upcoming season as well. Um, it's just kind of being able to push each other, like I've said a couple times, and I think that's a really big thing. And I'm definitely hoping to bring that into Maslin as well. And I think all of our girls are pretty good at that as well. But just being able to have that competitive nature is really good in practice.
What are some goals that you have for yourself that you still want to accomplish before you graduate high school?
I think a goal for me is just consistency. I will get like a one off hit and it's like, oh my gosh, then other times it's not exactly what I want for myself. And I think I expect a lot for myself. And that's definitely a big thing. And I hope to be able to just be the consistency piece and to be able to be a reliable player on the court and off the court. I think that's my biggest thing.
When you start thinking about your future after high school, I mean, is playing volleyball in college on the scope? Is that something that you want to try to do?
Yeah, definitely. I would love to take it to the next level just with the love of the sport. I think I could see myself doing this for at least the next 4 years.
As you're in your recruiting process, what kind of things are you looking for in a program and a coach that you would think, hey, if they have this in their checklist, I would feel comfortable calling that school my home for the next 4 years?
I think definitely the culture of the team is a really big thing and how the girls interact with each other, not only on the court, but off the court as well. Like the team chemistry and the team bond is a really big thing for me. Just because when you have that bond with your team outside of the court, it just really translates into games, and you can definitely see like the chemistry when it comes to it. And when it comes to coaching, I can definitely say coaches that want to push you not only as an athlete but as a person and just don't always translate everything to on the court, but that want to push you to be a better person and to take responsibility for all of your actions. And I think that's a big thing.
Now, every athlete's different on where they want to go. I mean, are you someone that wants to stay a little bit close if you could? or do you want to kind of get out of the nest and travel for college?
I am okay for everything. If I stay in state, great. If I go out of state, great. I don't have a preference when it comes to location, and I think that kind of helps me out a little bit.
When you think about this trip to Las Vegas, we've asked all your teammates this too. It's a long trip. You're flying down there, but it's still a long flight down there. And you're going to be with your teammates for an elongated period of time, staying with them in hotels and things like that. What kind of team bonding stuff are you excited about for this weekend outside of just playing volleyball on the court?
Well, we do have a talent show that is coming up, and I'm very excited for that as to see how that's going to go.
I've heard about this talent show. What are some of your hidden talents? What are you going to break out of the bag that you're going to be able to perform for
I
your team?
cannot disclose that. It is a very big secret, and it's going to be a surprise for my whole team. I would love to share, but I can't.
Keeping it close to the vest. I like it. I like it. What are some other things that kind of um, you think are just special about this team off the court that comes through in these kind of trips where, the builds your bond and makes these friendships that you have with these girls so important to you?
I think our team is very humble. Like, we have a girl, Abby, she's committed to Pitt, and you would never, like, she doesn't hold that against anyone. And once her girl's committed, there was no, like, oh, I'm on a higher pedestal, but we're all on the same level, and we all are just, I think everyone's a genuine person, and, like, we can get along off the court, and it's not like there's cliques on the team. Everyone just gets along together.
All right. One of the things that we do with these player profiles, no matter who we're interviewing, every sport, every athlete, we end it with giving the player, the athlete, the chance to take the limelight off themselves for a second and shine on their support system, the people that have been there for them throughout their whole career. So I want to give you the time to thank everyone that you want to thank and the people that have been so important to your journey.
I definitely want to thank my mom. She's been a huge part. She drives me to practice. She takes me to all my tournaments. She's just always been my support line, even if it's just a high five after the game or after a bad game. I just always know that she's there, whether if she's on the court or if she's on the sidelines, and it helps me. Also, my dad, he lives in Canada right now, but he comes out and he supports me the best that he can, and it just means so much to me when he makes that trip out. And I think I also definitely want to shout out my brother. He's a huge part in the reason why I want to go far in volleyball, because he's just been such a big role model for me, and I just want to. Everyone wants to be like the older siblings, and that's definitely the case.
We want to thank you so much for taking the time to join us today. We appreciate it. We wish you the best of luck in Las Vegas this weekend and in your senior season as a polar bear in Maslin Jackson. We want to once again thank you for your time, and we look forward to talking to you real soon.
Thank you so much for having me.